Hello, Leo, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a great day. This will be your weekly reading for the week of April 5th through the 11th. And during that time, we have a waning gibbous moon, which is a time of self-reflection and rebirth. Good time for us to get rid of our bad habits and our negative thinking and just buckle down and working towards those goals and accomplishments and things that we started at the beginning of the cycle. We then have the last quarter, third quarter moon comes in on April 10th. And the last quarter moon is really a time when our things that we're working on start to come to fruition. So we're realizing those dreams, and we're starting to reflect on, here we are at our full potential. What can we do? What do we need to do to finish this project off so that we can start to think in the next coming time about what we might want to adjust and start on the new moon. So keep that in mind as we move through the week. This will be an intuitive general reading for energies that you may or may not encounter, Leo. So, as always, please take what resonates and leave what doesn't here on the table for someone else. And your overall message for this reading is, what do you need to release? Which I think I just pulled that card. I think it was the Gemini reading. So, if you are a cross watcher and you have a Gemini close to you in your life, you may want to go watch that reading as well. All right, Leo. Let's get into this reading. As I'm shuffling, my fun weekly reminder this week is that you watch the world for synchronicities when it comes to things like repeating number patterns or maybe an animal that you don't see every day. This could be repeating or a song lyric that you overhear or a conversation, that sort of thing. But really try to watch the world for those synchronistic things and think about ways in your own life that you can apply those messages. Like you might hear a conversation that says, people are walking by, it's not even your conversation, and they're like, yes, you should buy that car. And you've been thinking about, should you buy that car? And you're like, wow, what? Okay. So that's what I mean by using those. So, all right, keep those in mind, Leo, and watch for those synchronistic things to happen because they're happening all around, whether you realize it or not. All right, let's get into this reading, Leo, for April 5th through the 11th. What is it that you need to release? Your present energy right now, 3 of Cups. So you're definitely kind of in celebratory party relaxation mode this week. Not a bad place to be. So have fun with that, whatever it is. Really, I like that her feet are green. I don't know why that makes me laugh so hard with that card. Anyway, definitely a card of celebration with friends, with family. Have a good time doing it. Current situation is the sun. So you're just in a really good, happy space right now. So that's awesome. No wonder you're celebrating. Get out there and do it up. enjoy feeling good. Hopefully it's that you're getting more sun. I'm starting to feel that, like, oh, I can come back alive after winter. I'm getting some literal fresh, authentic vitamin D on my skin. Love it. At the root of your situation, Leo, is the 8 of Pentacles. So, this can be hard work, but it can also just be that you're in the moment. And if it makes you happy to be in the moment, that's a great place to be. This is what I kind of call the flow card, that you're whatever you're working on, that you enjoy it so much that you just can't be distracted from it. And it's a good feeling to just kind of lock in and get a thing accomplished. What is in your recent past here? 9 of Pentacles, enjoying the fruits of your labor. Look, I love this reading altogether. Um, working hard, but enjoying it. Getting in the sun. Love it. On your mind this week? Knight of Swords. Okay, so here comes incoming messaging or incoming thoughts or something that's going to come in. Maybe this is an indicator of something that you're going to have to release. So let's see what this incoming thought is. I know this, I always laugh at this horse that looks like, what? That horse is not, he's a little scared about what's happening. So it could just be something you're like, what's just ahead of you this week? Justice card. So some sort of truth may be incoming. Some truth incoming. It could be truth that you're learning about yourself, something that you just realize or comes to your mind quickly, like, oh, this happens to me all the time. It's like, oh, I didn't realize I was being this negative way or whatever. Let me stop and address that. Sometimes those things just come to us quickly, but we'll see some sort of truth is coming to you. And again, this could be through messaging. It doesn't even have to be about you, but it can be. But it's about something. It's something that comes through, and I feel like it's truth related to something. In your advice position, Page of Swords. So, our pages are about thinking a new way or um, communicating in a new way. And again, if this is some truth that you learn about yourself, it may just be like a switch. And, um, maybe you learn that you're thinking negatively about a certain thing and it's just kind of perpetuating something. And so you make the decision to go, you know what? I'm not going to think that anymore. Let me turn this around into a positive thing, which is, your page. That's how to do something new. You might have to work. It takes a while to develop a habit, right? Um, but once you do that, it starts to get easier and easier and easier until now you're just thinking positively and now you've made the change. So that's just one example of what might be happening for you. You can template that over so many different things, of course. What is beyond your control this week is more happiness here with the ultimate happiness card with the 10 of Cups. Look at all these really happy cards, celebrating, enjoying the fruits of your labor. Whatever this is, maybe it's just a very minor little boom, something that you do need to release. Again, could just be negative thinking. What is your secret desire, or what are you trying to avoid? Well, of course, everybody's trying to avoid sadness and grief. So I'm going to say we're going to leave that in the trying to avoid column for whatever reason. And you might just be like, you know what? Nothing can touch me this week. Whatever it is that you have to be sad about, I'm not going to entertain it or be with you. So I'm just going to go along and be happy and enjoy my time in the sun right now. So perfectly normal to try to avoid something like that. That's fine. In your outcome position is a little bit of disappointment, maybe because of that with the 4 there of cups. But what is it that the universe is offering you? And maybe that is the negativity that I'm talking about, that it could be when you keep thinking those negative thoughts, the universe will bring you the negative result. And that can be very hard. It's a very hard cycle and mind cycle to get into change, right? Because it's usually a habit that's developed over time. It could have just be something that you bring in from your childhood, that is just your negative way of thinking about it, because that's how you were taught, that's how you were trained, and you've never, there's so many different facets of our life that it's to really get in with a magnifying glass on each little section is it takes time. So but it might be something again that you're just thinking of negatively and it's bringing you a negative result. So, I'm going to say release thinking negatively like that and see if that result can turn around for you. Because it looks like things are good otherwise. It looks like things are really good otherwise. So if you're just letting one little thing kind of nitpick at your mind, yeah, it's gonna try to rain on your parade a little bit. What is hidden from you this week, Leo, is anxiety. So that's good. We're not really too worried about it, whatever it is, but it looks like, yeah, something comes in or a realization that makes you think you can change something. Um, Again, this could be an outside source too. It can be an inside source, but just, do something in a new way, make one little adjustment, and maybe you can turn this into, instead of being disappointed about what the universe brings you, that you can be happy about it, which I like. I like that. I will apply all of this in my own life this week. So, all right, since I am a Leo as well, let's get a final message here from the Soul Oracle deck. Final message for Leo is to grieve your losses. So yeah, and sometimes letting go of, and here's this grief card as well. Letting go of a way of being, it is hard because it's hard to change ourselves, and it's not that it's hard, not that you don't want to, it can just be a struggle. It's like, but that's the way I've always done it. I've always thought negatively about this thing, and that's going to be hard. So, but again, if you can turn it around and see if you can get a different result, I think it is a positive, even though it's hard. Sometimes we have to do hard things, you big crybaby. So let's get it done, right? And I'm saying that to myself. All right. Final word here from the, self-care wisdom cards. What does Leo need to do in the way of self-care as they're going through this? So, okay, wow, the card called Truth comes in. Didn't we have this Justice card? Totally what that card means. Truth. Let's flip this over. See what this has to say. Truth is different at different levels of consciousness. Reserve judgment. Okay. And all that says to me, and I know this well, we don't want to judge others who cannot see a thing that we can see. Why? Because that's just where they are. And we were there. If you think about it, we were there once too. And that's why we don't reserve judgment. We all kind of move at our own pace and we're learning things at our own pace. And just because we've learned a thing and have mastered it in our own life doesn't mean that our neighbor has as well. And so that's why we don't judge, because people are in different places for different reasons. We're all here learning, right? Leo, thank you so much for being here. I do hope there was something in this reading that you can take away and use in a positive way in your life this week. Figure out what it is that you need to release and let it go. And maybe something new will come in and take its place in a more positive, and you can get a more positive result out of it. So, also, Leo, if you like my reading style, hitting like and subscribe would that's a dream of mine. So thank you so much for doing that in advance. Also, it'll help you find me next time. Come back and let's see where this story goes. So thanks so much, Leo. Good luck with this, and I'll see you next week. Bye bye.